Okay, here I am down in the vineyard. I'm going to put the chicken coop down here. Be nice and shady in the summer, nice and sunny in the winter. You can see I kind of leveled off a spot here. You can see to the left, here's my two turnbuckles, but right there I kind of dug out a spot. I'm going to put, that's going to be a spot for a garbage can to support the water for the chickens. You'll see that in a minute. I'm going to get somebody to give me a hand lifting the coop onto the stand here. So we'll see that in a minute. Okay, I got a hand lifting this up and putting it on here, these handles. Now I'm going to insert these 4 posts. Okay, I've got the wire for the diagonal bracing. You can use about anything. Here's some old cord off a lamp. Here's some wire off of a garage door return mechanism. Here's a grounding wire for a stylish lamp. So I'm going to make a loop big enough to go over this corner here. It's not too complicated. Got a loop there, put it around. I'm going to go down to this other corner here. Take my turnbuckles. And I'm going to put the turnbuckle just about in the middle back here. So I'm going to cut this wire off here. Okay, going to make another loop on the bottom corner over on this other side. Coming over this corner here. I've already tied the turnbuckle on the one end of the other wire I put on first. Got the turnbuckle opened as much as possible. I'm going to tie the wire onto this turnbuckle. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on the other corners. Okay, I've stretched another wire from the other 2 corners. And I put the turnbuckle here because the scrap of wire I had only came to here. Another one was long. I'm going to tie this off. Get some of the slack out of the line here before I tighten it up.
It would be easier to pull the wire tight around the turnbuckle end, unscrew the one end of the turnbuckle, and then just tie a loop knot in it, like the very first knot I tied, instead of these bow lines, which are really kind of hard to get taut.
Okay, and then I can start tightening my turnbuckles. Well, I think I'm going to have to loosen this one up and take some of the slack out. It's not quite tight enough. Okay, I've took the slack out. I had to unscrew the turnbuckle and loosen it, and then tighten it up and put it back together. But I got the slack out, they're nice and tight. Got some diagonal stability now. I'm going to trim off a little bit of the excess wire. Now I'm going to put some concrete blocks on here to weight this down and to make it even more stable. And I'm going to throw some dirt in here. That'll be a little more weight. Save this last block till after I put the trash can in. Well, I screwed up. I forgot I cannot get the trash can in past that 2x4. So the trash can has to go in this side, which means I'm going to just undo my turnbuckles and put them on the other side now. So that's going to take just a second.
You're going to have to shoot a screw in right here below the tension wire to keep it from rolling off the PVC and becoming slack on both sides. Fill the trash can up about 1/3 full with grass or leaves so that the chickens don't have as far to jump out when just starting out with a fresh trash can.
Just center it under the hole. Now I'm going to set up the water.
This trash can is full of compost from another composter. Normally this would be the trash can that you just rotate out from underneath the Chicken Coop Composter. At the very start it will be an empty can.
I want this to slope a little bit that way. You'll see why in a second. Kind of centering it on the middle of the cage. I'll pull this back just a little bit. Here's water. This is some old sink I found. I like to use big buckets of water. I'll probably put a drip water above this that they sell, the chicken drippers. And then if it drips excessively, it'll just fill this up. I like having a volume of water that I can see, that they can drink. If you have a hard freeze in your area, this is pretty reliable. You can see there's ice on it, or there's not ice. If there's ice, you can break it off. If you got those drippers, they freeze up. So I always like to have just a nice big supply of water to fall back on. And I think I'm going to put something to lift this up a little bit. I'm not happy with the height, so I'm going to go find something. Note that the garbage can is sloped a little bit this way so water doesn't just drain right in this hole. Only rain that hits that directly should go in it. If all the water that hits this lid goes in there, it's going to be too much. So I think I'm going to tilt it just a little bit more. Got some spacers here. Could be just about anything because I want this water to be up a little higher. What I got to do is make a hole for the chickens to get their head through. I think I'm going to make it about 4 inches square, and I like to do it so that the wire's turned down and can't poke them. So I cut the wire and bend it down. I might raise this up another 1.5 inches later on, we'll see. Fill this up. We're going to need a little more water. You can never have too much water in the summer. Now I want to show you the nesting box. Dress up their nesting box a little bit. Put some grass in here. They'll make it the way they want it. Okay, here's the feeder, all full of feed. And add a little water and we're ready to put some chickens in here. Well, we've got four new chickens in here, getting oriented. You got to think of this as kind of like a 3-story. You got your basement level, and you'd be surprised how much time they spend down there, scratching up the compost, breaking it down, digging through it. Of course, the main level, and then the roosting level. 4 chickens is this is a 4 chicken coop. You can put 5 in it. Probably a little tied up on the roosting level if you put 5 in there. One feature I've seen with a lot of chicken coops is a ladder up to the roosting level. Once you see chickens hop up and down, they don't need a ladder. It's a piece of cake for them. They almost seem to enjoy doing it. If you want to put a ladder on your coop, go right ahead. But this is how I've got it here. Okay, I've just got a few updates I forgot to give a good diagram of how the tension wires are run to stiffen up the frame so the coop isn't wobbly. So the PVC is blue, and I've just got 3 sides of the coop represented by the blue lines. Those are 3 continuous sides. And then the green is the wires. So here's one continuous wire here, another continuous wire, and the brown is the turnbuckles. Of course, I showed you me putting that on, but here's a diagram to clarify. Okay, now, as it turned out, the coop was just a little too wobbly. The one side that didn't have any tension wires that you put the trash can in, that side was just wobbly. So I've added a wire on that side. Once again, the blue is the PVC, the green is the wire. Here's the pattern of the continuous wire. It's looped around. Here's the turnbuckle. Once I put that on, it really stiffened it up. This thing is not going anywhere. To get the trash can out, to get the compost out, I'm just going to have to loosen this turnbuckle up and slide the wire off, and then take the trash can out, put a new one in, put the wire back on. So here's the loop, turnbuckle goes around the pipe, loop here. Okay, one last thing. Sometimes when you put the chickens in, they lay in the compost trash can. It's nice and grassy down there, and you don't want that to happen. If you have to, you can make a little goodie like this, reach down in and get your egg. But I put the lid over it, and that encourages them to go up in the nesting box and learn to lay up there. These guys haven't been a problem. They've been going up there, so I just put that in to demonstrate. So good luck with everything.